Hi, but I just want to remind you of who Barry Weiss is. Barry Weiss was, she went on the Joe Rogan podcast, called Tulsi Gabbard a toady and of Assad because she's told the truth about what was happening in Syria like we did here. And so she pushed that establishment smear of anybody who went against the establishment line in Syria was a toady of Assad. And it was our most famous, our most popular video. But I just want to show you what she said. To give you an idea of this is the kind of person that they would hire to write at the New York Times. Right, here we go.
Kristen Gillibrand. Oh, monstrous.
Monstrous?
Ideas.
Well, when she was 22, she had...
No, she's an Assad toady.
What does that mean?
She is
What's a toady?
I think that I used that word correctly. Jamie, can you check what toady means?
Like toeing the line? Is that what it means?
No, I think it's like a...
I don't know. They told me to say
this. Toadie.
Everybody says she is at the New York Times. I never question it. I just repeat it.
I think it means what I think it means.
She doesn't know what it means. She is a toady.
Toady. Definition of toadies. A person who flatters or defers to others for self-serving reasons.
A sycophant.
I kind of use
So she's an Assad sycophant. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's known about her.
That's known.
Like, what did she say that
we have to look.
her?
I don't
know.
It's known.
Just keep in mind that she's talking about someone currently serving in the military, an officer currently serving in the military. Currently. That's what she was talking about.
I don't remember the details.
We probably should say that before we say that about her. We should probably read it, rather.
Well, I have read it.
No, I mean, we should right now.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Just so we know what she said.
Look up
I've had her
Tulsi
on
Gabbard.
here before. I really enjoyed talking to her. I like her a lot.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I like talking to her.
Okay.
I like talking to her. I don't know about...
I think she's like the motherlode of bad ideas.
Whoa.
I'm pretty positive about that. Especially on Assad. But maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, she's the motherlode of bad ideas. I'm pretty positive, but I could be wrong about someone who is the motherlode of bad ideas. And then she couldn't name one of the loads in the motherlode, just so you know. So I won't have to play any more of that. And why am I showing you this?
Because she's smugnerant.
Because she's smugnerant. That's what we call that, smugnerant. And here she is talking. She's weighing in on the Gaza tragedy that Israel is bombing the shit out of unarmed people and kids and babies and all of them, right? They're committing another massacre in Gaza. Gaza, the world's largest open-air prison. So they're bombing inside of a prison. Think about that. Those people can't leave if they wanted. So she says this. She tweeted this out. I am writing to you from the waiting room of my fertility clinic. She's trying to have a baby. Getting pregnant when you are gay is not so romantic, so we try to do little things to make it nice. I plan to take the morning off. The doctor says the stress is not good for baby making. So I called my doctor a toady. But sitting here, scrolling through my phone, looking at the tsunami of lies that have permeated every Instagram and every viral meme and every TikTok video and every Twitter account, I am weeping. When she says tsunami of lies, I think she's referring to her draft folder. I think that's what she's referring to. It appears that standing up, listen to, here it comes, folks. Hold on to your... It appears that standing up for the right of innocent people to protect themselves from a genocidal terrorist organization has become extremely risky to one's brand. I'm speaking, of course, about Israel. Barry Weiss pretending she's not concerned about brand has... It's like Brian Stelter when he said he didn't care about ratings. Anyway, here we go. Casualty reports are hard to verify because Hamas controls the media, even the international press, inside the Gaza Strip. But it appears that more than 50 Palestinians have been killed. So I thought our media was run by Rupert Murdoch, Time Warner, and Comcast. All this time it was Hamas. Who knew? Some of these people are entirely innocent, non-combatants, including children. This is an unspeakable tragedy. You think she's on the right track. You think she's going the right way? It is also one of the unavoidable burdens of political power, of Zionism's dream turned into the reality of self-determination. What is one of the unavoidable burdens of political power in Zionism's dream? Killing entirely innocent people, including children. Sorry. Got it. That's if you want Zionism, you got to kill some kids. So it's bad, but tough shit. And she's saying this from a fertility clinic. We have to kill babies. That's unavoidable. And this is affecting me while I'm trying to conceive my baby. She's worried about it. She's worried about how it's affecting her conceiving a baby. Her having to defend killing other babies. Israel's Defense Forces tweeted this out to the citizens of Gaza. The IDF is striking Hamas weapon stores hidden inside civilian buildings in Gaza. Although Hamas wants to put you in harm's way, we urge you to stay away from Hamas weapon sites and get to safety. Our goal is only to strike terror. So they just start bombing, people's houses and apartment buildings. That's what that means. For the sake of, this is the kind of crap the New York Times puts. This is the kind of people I hire. People like Barry Weiss and people like this guy, Brett Stevens, who said, for the sake of peace, Israel must rout Hamas. That's from May 13th. That's from May 13th. War is war for peace. Now, we realize this was bullshit a long time ago, but the New York Times still repackages it constantly. Brett Stevens took a side gig at a pro-Israel advocacy group earlier this year. The fact wasn't disclosed when he published a New York Times column saying the goal of U.S. policy is to support Israel's efforts to defang, deflate, and ultimately disempower Hamas. So they didn't disclose that. So again, they're unethical. Just like the Washington Post doesn't disclose that Jeff Bezos has a $600 million deal with the CIA. They don't disclose that the guy who wrote that is getting cash straight from Israel. They don't disclose that stuff. That's the New York Times. That's Barry Weiss. But Barry Weiss doesn't work there anymore because she's trying to have a baby. I don't know why. But she's trying to have a baby. And as she's trying to have a baby, she's cheering on the killing of other babies. I'll just bring in Max Blumenthal. Max Blumenthal, who wrote 2 books on what's happening in Palestine right now. Max? And also, by the way, he did a documentary calling Killing Gaza, which can be found at killinggaza.com. I recommend it to everybody. The 2 books he authored on Israel and Palestine are called Goliath and the 51-Day War. Max, what do you say to someone like Barry Weiss, former New York Times writer?
Well, it's a kind of a sign of progress in media and how far those of us who have been exposing Israel's crimes against Palestinians and exposing the reality that Palestinians live in as journalists have come, that Barry Weiss is finally on the defensive after spending her 20s and a good part of her life terrorizing Palestinian academics and anyone in American public life who defies the Israel lobby. That means that during her time at Columbia University when she was a student, concocting a campaign of complete fabrications and McCarthyite lies against Joseph Mossad, one of the greatest Middle East scholars of our time, who you should definitely have as a guest at some point, trying to get him fired for essentially being a Palestinian and refusing to back away from the narrative of his own existence. She may have been single-handedly responsible for getting the School of International Public Affairs Dean Lisa Anderson at Columbia fired because she hosted the elected Iranian president, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, simply for hosting him for a forum, Q&A with students. She has targeted Linda Sarsour. She's attempted to target Keith Ellison as an anti-Semite. She goes after everyone. In her pal at the New York Times, who is a card-carrying neocon named Adam Rubenstein from Bill Kristol's Weekly Standard, who was hired there along with her and Bret Stephens when they wanted to bring in, for some reason, all these Likudniks. He, when he was at Kenyon College, he attempted to prevent the school from hosting a Palestinian poet and activist named Remy Kanazi. Then you've got Bret Stephens. He called me a psychopath when he was in Israel. So, that was a real badge of honor for me. But Bret Stephens, when a professor at George Washington University, David Karpf, called him a bedbug, he called that guy's employer and tried to get him fired for calling him a bedbug. Then he wrote the most ridiculous op-ed I've ever read about how a bedbug isn't actually an anti-Semitic slur.
I remember that.
So these people, these neocons like Barry Weiss, are the biggest frauds in our society. They run around pretending like they're so brave for defending Israel, as if the Israel lobby isn't the most powerful pressure group in our country, more powerful than the NRA, as if it doesn't control both sides of the aisle in Congress. They're so brave for taking on Hamas, like this organization that basically controls a walled-off ghetto where 50% of the people are unemployed and currently being slaughtered. They're so brave, but they're basically these entitled, whining, spoiled little ethno-supremacist babies who have been used to canceling people for going against the power of the Israel lobby. And finally, they're on the defensive, and they're just going into contortions to defend this exterminationist slaughter, to the point where Barry Weiss conceded that it is an obligation of Zionism to kill children.
To kill children. And well, I'm going to show you video.
To kill Palestinian children in the Gaza Strip. It's a tragedy, but it's our obligation. It has to be done in order to defend this great country that supposedly represents us, which is anti-Semitic, by the way, conflating all Jews with the state of Israel, with an apartheid state, is exactly what anti-Semites do in order to indict Jews for Israel's crimes. And that's what she's doing as well. That's her whole framework of understanding Israel-Palestine, is actually an anti-Semitic framework.
Hey, everybody, this is the part where I tell you where all our live shows are, but there aren't any. And then this is why I tell you to join our premium program and get extra content, but nobody's got a fucking job. So just enjoy the video.